Carbon. It's inside all of us as a building block of proteins, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids that are vital to human life. But what do we really know about it? For most of us, the answer is not much. That is why I am conducting an investigation into the movement of carbon through the biosphere, called the carbon cycle. By observing the processes of the carbon cycle in action, I hope to gain a better understanding of the carbon cycle and its importance. Care to join? The largest stores of carbon on Earth are in sediments at the bottom of the ocean. But how do they get there? To begin my investigation, I will be examining how carbon gets into the ocean.
For a crab like me, diffusion is one of the most important cycles. That's because diffusion is responsible for taking carbon dioxide from the air and putting it into the ocean, where organisms fix it into calcium for making shells. When organisms like me die, their shells are deposited at the bottom of the ocean floor, where it is transformed into carbon. That's why there's so much carbon in marine sediments.
Like the oceans, forests are another biome with dramatic impacts on the carbon cycle. Let's see the forest for more than just trees and check it out!
When forest fires burn down trees, the carbon those trees contain is released back into the atmosphere. Deforestation can affect the carbon cycle by increasing the amount of carbon levels in the atmosphere. When trees, which take in massive amounts of carbon from the atmosphere through photosynthesis, are cut down, the amount of carbon levels in the atmosphere rise. And when the trees are cut off, the carbon that was stored inside of them is released.
Processes of the carbon cycle can vary widely in scope and scale. They can be caused by factors of all types and sizes, whether they are as large as the Pacific Ocean or as minute as the life processes of a single living organism.
My name is Karl, and as you can see, I'm a human. Every single day, humans such as myself, as well as all the other species on Earth, contribute to the carbon cycle without even knowing it. In a process called respiration, we exchange carbon dioxide for oxygen with the atmosphere. Respiration doesn't just keep us alive, it changes the very nature of the world around us.
For plants like me to get the energy I need to survive, we need to carry out a process called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis uses sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water to create carbohydrates and oxygen. That's where the carbon cycle comes in. When we take in carbon dioxide to do photosynthesis, we cycle carbon through the biosphere.
Organisms don't just impact the carbon cycle when they're alive. As dead organisms decompose, the carbon in their bodies is released once again into the atmosphere.
Now that we've seen how living organisms impact the carbon cycle, let's get a bit more specific. On a broader scale, life in general creates many of the processes of the carbon cycle, but humans specifically have quite a bit of impact.
Every day, millions of people drive their cars all around the world. The burning of fuel that powers the cars releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. In this way, transportation becomes a part of the carbon cycle.
As we can see, the carbon cycle is impacted by many different factors, and every part of the biosphere plays a role, even you. Now that you know how carbon cycles through the biosphere, I hope you will come to appreciate the vital importance of this remarkable element in our world.